All right, so let me adjust the camera here. I'm gonna do this live thing because the editing and posting and all that just I don't have time for it. So I just got back from. Let me get the mic closer here. I just got back from Vegas from the One Rental at a Time conference with Mike Zuber. That was great. I got to meet him. Got to meet a bunch of people that I've seen on YouTube videos. I met Dion and Millennial Mike before, but I met him again down there. I've got a list of people I was gonna read off here so I don't forget anybody. I met more than this, but I mentioned Millennial Mike. I got to meet Simon from Uneducated Economist. I love that guy. He's awesome. Got to spend some time with him, chatted him up, and listen to his conference and stuff on the stage. It was great. Um, Chad, Coach Carson. Oh man, that guy dropped some knowledge on me. So I'm actually going to shift a little bit on my investment strategy after talking to him. Dion, like I said, Millennial Mike, Lance Lambert, who I hadn't met or even paid much attention to, but I did see he's Resi Club, and I've looked at Resi Club. I also use Reventure app, and then I met him at a bar afterwards and talked to him about some other stuff. Also, shout out to Nick. He wasn't there, but Lance and I talked about Nick from Reventure app. So good stuff, Nick. If you ever watch this, he gave you a lot of props. And then what I wanted to leave this last is Sean Cannell. So I am not a YouTube person. You can tell that by this video. But the reason I'm doing this, I've done a few and posted some videos. But the reason I'm doing this is Sean Cannell got up on stage. To be honest, I didn't know who he was, but he's the Think Media guy, and he's a YouTuber. And I'm assuming he makes a bunch of money. I didn't research him, but he's the go-to guy for YouTube stuff. And one of the things he said was just go, just start. So, and I've kind of half-assed been doing this, but so I'm doing this now to just start. So I don't have a format. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing it. So I wanted to give an update of where I'm at. I know I've been posting videos, but I haven't done a live or a status update per se. So last time I think I did this, I had a property under contract and then we closed on it. It was under construction. So if you've seen the videos, you know it's done. It's up and running, but we did shift gears. We ran it as an Airbnb for a while because for tax reasons. So I've got an accountant now, some lawyers, a bookkeeper. I've got a real estate agent, Sean Gomez. He's awesome. Or sorry, Stephen Gomez. I'm not editing this, so Stephen Gomez. Sorry, I had Sean Cannell on the brain. But landscapers and cleaning services and all this stuff. So it is filled. It filled, and we went January. It went live in January 1. We ran it as an Airbnb in 2023 for tax reasons. January 1, we went live with it through a Padsplit, not running it as a co-living myself. But Padsplit's a property management company that does rent by room, and they handle all the personnel portions. I handle the management if something breaks in the property. It went live January 1, and we filled it January 12th. Or actually, we had 12. Yeah, January 12th. We filled it in 12 days. And it's been pretty full the whole time. The first month was actually profitable, which is a surprise to me because we had planned on vacancy for about, or not vacancy, but a 3 month holding cost. But right out of the gate, we were awesome. Cash flow positive about by $1,000 first month, and that's after pad split fees, mortgage, everything, including the $250 I have set aside for maintenance, this and that. But I did get the gas bill, and that is a mistake I made. I had budgeted about $40 for gas, and it was an unusually cold January in Arizona. I'm in Oregon, but I invest in Arizona, and so our gas bill, our heating bill, was $269. But crisis averted. Called the gas company, and unlike the power company, they will do a I don't want to say amortize, but they'll let me pay for the year. They said you can just pay this 269 now and then pay $25 a month. I opted to pay $50 a month just to overshoot it to make sure because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to adjust later. I just wanted to be done. Also doing the same thing with the power bill. I'm paying $200 a month, even though my power bill is $105 a month. That way, when I get into the summer and my power bills get $500, whatever they are, we have a credit. So that's what's going on. We actually now have a second house under contract for the second time. I'll have to do a second video on that because that was crazy. It wasn't planned. Just if it was, list price 439. First time around, we offered 425 with 10K concessions. They took it. Inspection was good, but then the contract cost was going to be way too much, and it was 1 day left on the inspection period. I had left, so I canceled the contract. Looked around, couldn't find anything better, so came back like 3 weeks later. Told my realtor, "Hey man, what if we made another offer on that thing?" So we offered lower, 405 with 10K concessions, and they took that, which was a huge surprise. We did that just to start off the negotiations, but they took that, so that was great. We'll close on that March 1st, and we'll get the construction going shortly thereafter, and we'll turn that one into an 8 bedroom. It has 2.5 bath though, so that was one of the criteria I changed after the first house. It's not a problem. People are okay with the first one, but it's just I wanted that for me. I don't want to be a slumlord. We're doing granite countertops, stainless steel. It's a nice place, and we're doing the same for this one. This one's going to cost a little bit more on that on the kitchen though. I don't have the quote on that just yet, but it's about 24 grand, which is about the same I had for the Glendale house. This house is in Phoenix. I'm talking kind of fast just so I wrap this up so it doesn't hopefully it doesn't get too boring. So I don't know if anybody's ever going to watch this, but I'm kind of doing this for myself as well, so I can look back on it and see our status as we go. But at the one rental at a time conference I went to in Vegas this weekend, I learned that, from Sean Cannell, hey, just start, just go. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm not expecting much of myself. I'm just hitting the record button, like you said. The other thing I learned is I'm always looking up to these guys, these investors, these real estate investors. And one of the things I learned was as you go up the ladder, I don't feel like I have anything to offer because I'm brand new. I started in April. I'm doing private money lending. That's going pretty cool. I like that, but I'm very cautious. So I do like one a quarter. And then on the investment side, I have one house, well, two now, but after the contract's done, it's not up and running. So I don't feel like I have anything to offer. And every single one of them told me, yes, you do. You've learned enough to get that far. So turn around and try to help out someone else. And in my mind, the first thing I heard was when I was a kid, they had these little monkey things. The monkeys hooked together like, let me see, I'm back at like this, and then anyway, and the little I forget what barrel monkeys, right? And so it's kind of like in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. Um, I just had okay. So I'm thinking that if anybody can get anything out of this, great. And if anybody wants to reach out to me and ask, hey, where I'm at, like maybe you haven't started yet, maybe you haven't done anything, maybe you're just thinking about it. But for me, I mentioned in the last video, Tax-Free Wealth was the book that just catapulted me. It just made sense to me, and it just set me into this path. Um, I am a fairly I do react. I'm a proactive kind of person. I would think. I did study and look and go for it. And the reason I did the private money lending to start off with is I figured if I can get into that and understand, do some loans and understand what they're doing. That's actually how I found the Padsplit model. As a couple of people I talked to were doing this. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I thought first I didn't want to do it. I thought, oh, that's weird. I don't want to treat people like I thought it was a treating thing, like treating people poorly. But after I met some of the people, talked to some of the other hosts, it's actually a service that's needed. I mean, as we know, in this country, we have a housing shortage big time, and there's some people living on the streets, some people sleeping in their cars, and they just simply can't afford studio apartments. And in the market that I'm in, I think the cheapest you can find for a studio is about $1,200 a month, but that doesn't include utilities. That doesn't include the first and last month's rent, a lot of things. And so what we're doing is we're essentially coming in 2/3 of that price, and I pay utilities. And and there's no go to padsplit.com and you'll see the criteria they have there. So I leverage them for all the upfront stuff. So I'm not doing the long-term rental. I'm doing the relatively, I guess, a midterm is what you call it, but it's rent by room. So not like families or anything. So if somebody needs to catch up on bills, needs a place to stay just to get on their feet, that sort of thing. Also, Padsplit will help them with their credit. Let's say they have a bad credit. They'll report out on their credit every month if they make the rental payments, and then it'll help boost their credit up. And so anyway, I got on board with it because it was not only lucrative, but it was actually helping to solve a problem. And that felt good to me. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, I mentioned in the last video I left my W-2, and the other reason is I need to work on something that's cash flow. I couldn't just do a solely equity play because then I wouldn't be able to. You can't eat equity. I heard somebody say that was pretty good. But yeah, so I guess that's about it. I learned a lot from the ORAAT, the one rental at a time. I would say check them out. Mike Zuber, good guy, by the way. I told myself if I ever met him, I listened to his podcast and his YouTube videos, and his gain on his mic is set so low that different than everybody else, even his guests. And so when I listen to him, I'm like, oh man, I got to turn the volume up. And then if it goes to commercial, it blasts me out of the freaking, if I'm in the car or listening to it at home, or if it switches to the next podcast, it blasts me out. So I told him, and he leaned in quietly to me. He goes, "We'll let you in on a little secret. I don't know what the F I'm doing." Crack me up. There's this guy with 50,000 subscribers and, a pretty serious investor. I don't know what his unit count is, but it's a lot. So we're at 8 units right now, soon to be 16. I'm house hacking in Oregon in my primary residence. So, and I started back in April, bought the house in August. So we're cruising along. I think okay. I feel like I'm going slow, but other people have told me, hey man, you need to go slow, and I didn't listen to them. And as a result, I I I think I don't know if I mentioned or not, but the $40 gas bill and actually was 269. So I called the gas. I think I did mention it. Sorry, but anyway, so I got that mitigated, so it's not the end of the world. But if you go too fast, you don't learn those type of things. So I'm going to slow down. I've got two houses now, and I think I'm going to stop and then get through the summer, see what that AC bill is going to cost me, and then any other things that sneak up on me. Um, and just go from there. So if you've made it this far, thanks for listening, and give me any feedback. Let me know what's good, what's bad, or what should I do next. Thanks. Bye.